Chiquinha, Chiquinha.
Go check out the room.
Chiquinha.
Okay, so Sydney, Australia, I was staying in Bondi Beach. And then, so this is kind of the beach scene, and I started there in the morning, and then I ended up going to Bondi Junction, so there's a little bit of material there. And then I went into basically King's Cross, and I walked all the way down to William Street in downtown. So basically today's footage is all the way down there, and then if you want to see more, I walk also around the Opera House and the Rocks, and I take some boats to Manly Beach and some other beaches too. So, but this is just the part that I'm walking around downtown. So here we go. Okay, this area is called Funday Junction. Just gonna Funday Junction. Just gonna walk down this street right here, which kind of reminds me of Honolulu. I walk over to the shady side. So Bondi Junction, and it says keeping Bondi beautiful. Let's get over the shade. There we go. Okay, anyways. It's kind of a plaza, a pedestrian walkway. You can just kind of go to different places in Bondi Junction. Bondi Junction is maybe 2 kilometers maybe from Bondi Beach. I'm not sure exactly, but maybe 2 or 3 kilometers. So the train line comes here, then you take the bus to the beach. Okay. So Bondi Junction is this, and this, and this is the train station right here. So there's a pretty cool artwork in this building here. And you go right up to there, which is Bondi Junction, the station. Here's all the artwork. It's the view part of Sydney right there. An overpass. I'm sitting inside the Bondi Junction right here. But it's kind of cool because this little thing in Thailand right there. So it's just on a bus and people are talking about their trip to Thailand. So thinking about Australia, it's like 7 hours from Malaysia when I flew in the other day from Sydney. So they're pretty isolated. I mean, you can get from Michigan to Europe in 7 hours. So Thailand is what, maybe a little further, even like 8 or 9 hours. Anyways, it's definitely a pretty cool place too. Kind of thinking about Thailand while I'm here in Australia, of all things. This is the metro, so I'm going to try to catch one of these, and there's kind of an upstairs and downstairs, and it's about 9:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, so there's not many people. I'm trying to catch this one right here. So downstairs. Next stop is King's Cross. So I'm on the train on Monday. King's Cross. Okay, King's Cross. See, we can see backpacker stuff, East Coast package. So I guess this is where some hostels are at. Kind of cool buildings over there. Boxing. So keep walking. Okay, nightclubs. I think I've heard that King's Cross has a lot of nightclubs and bars, so let's keep walking. Pizza places. Okay. This is King's Cross Library. More backpacker stuff. I'm gonna go over to the library. Let's see if I can cross. The King's Cross Library. What I did is I put my book in there. It's closed right now. It's not even 10 a.m. yet, so I just slipped in that door. So sometimes when I travel, I like to just drop off the books and just see what happens to it. So you never know. Hopefully they put it in there. So we'll see. If not, it's okay as well. So there's King's Cross. King's Cross has a lot of backpacker places, hotels, showgirls, downloads. Okay, happy travels. Another hotel. Working showgirls. Okay, so there's another walkway. Funkhouse, backpackers. I guess basically this area, King's Cross. I've heard it's popular for the nightlife. Sometimes I've seen different documentaries where there's different stuff happening. Oops. So there's like backpacker stuff and bars and clubs and all kinds of stuff like that, restaurants, money exchanges. Okay, so I guess it's a popular place for pizza places. So, wow, that's a pretty amazing booth right there. Look at that thing, huge. It's huge. Look at that thing. My lord, that thing is big. Anyways. Another backpacker place, money exchange, pad thai. Thai food is popular everywhere. That's what this is. Some writing there, but anyways, I think I'm going to continue on. Walk around. If I see anything interesting, I'll take the camera out. Like that bird. I like these Victorian stuff. So, tattoo shop. Okay. Closed library. Another library. I guess it's just all closed. Another backpacker stuff. Okay. There's a lot of backpacker stuff everywhere here. Free Wi-Fi. Lounge down there. Here's the bar. It's kind of funny because it's like 9 in the morning, but they're drinking over there. Guy in the white shirt has a beer, and the other guy over here has a beer. Let's see. So yeah, this is part of King's Cross.
Then on the way back,
Backpackers. There's a lot of bars and backpacker stuff and let's see, this is a big bus tour. Might see if I tried to catch it, but I didn't catch it. But the stop is right here. I just barely missed it. I wasn't sure where it was exactly. There's a line. Actually, I might just walk all that. It looks like it's easy to walk anyways. So I don't think I'm going to take that tour. But I'm over here at King's Cross. And basically I'm going to just walk around all of this. So this just goes around the periphery part anyways. So basically I'm going to try to walk into the downtown and then get over here. Then I'm going to take a ferry. So the ferry, I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to go yet. Either Manly or Watson Bay. Okay. From Watson Bay I can get back down to Bondi Beach is where I'm staying at anyway, so. There's a little Thai massage there. I just find it interesting because there's a lot of Thai stuff here. Australia's pretty far removed, so New Zealand's the next closest place, in Indonesia, and then basically Thailand, so. Anderson's ice cream from Denmark. King's Cross Hotel. William Street is right there. And I was just walking down that way, so it's actually my plan is to go to this right here, William Street, and then we're gonna walk downtown. So it's actually King's Cross is kind of an interesting spot. Pretty cool buildings around here, so. And a Thai restaurants are everywhere. Okay, so we're gonna walk downtown. Okay, so another hotel. So many around here. O'Malley's Hotel, Irish. You got music here as well. Live music. Open mic night. So, okay. So I think what I'm gonna do is flip this around and kind of see it. So see a little bit sunburned. So I've been in Australia for a day already, and I'm already sunburned for being outside all the time. Okay, so we're walking downtown from here. So a little bit of a walk to get downtown. So we're just left King's Cross, and I'm crossing a crosswalk, as you can see. So Sydney. So far Sydney is this is actually my second time here, my third time in Australia. So I've been to Melbourne, Darwin, Sydney. Drove around through North South Wales, Victoria, parts of Queensland. So anyways, I'm back again and I'm in Sydney. And yeah, it's always great. More backpacker stuff. So yeah, Australia is pretty, that's one thing I really like about Australia. A lot of people travel a lot. So my fellow Americans don't travel as much, anywhere near as much as Australians, but they also have the work visa here where they can go to the UK and places like that. But anyways, it's yet another backpacker hostel. When I'm in the United States, I almost never see them, but you know, Sydney has like every 30 seconds they have one. Anyways, I'm gonna keep walking. And yet another backpacker place. So it's hard to know if it's a reflection of what you're doing. You see things that connect with it, or not actually backpacking, that just, the person that travels a lot. Anyways, yet more. In cinemas November 29. I didn't know about this one. Sylvester Stallone 3. We're crossing over park. Some really cool looking trees too. So anyways, I'm walking downtown, but it's not really that far. On the map it looks like it's far, King's Cross to downtown, but it's actually not at all. And when you get to walk a city, you really get to see how small and manageable it is. I think the other time I was here, I wasn't able to do that, so it seemed quite large to me, but it's actually quite manageable. There's another one of those. So that basically just goes around it, and I probably already walked a decent portion, and I've hardly walked anything. But I looked at that, and downtown to there looked like it'd take a while on the map, but it's not when you walk it. I've been walking maybe 20 minutes so, but anyway. Funny, I've been here before. This is church. So I was here for some celebration here. Anyways, so that's a famous one, so a lot of tourists go there. So I just go like that, so there it is. I'm not sure which church that is. Stay on there. Yeah, last time I was here, I rented a car. So when you rent a car, you're always caught in traffic. Things seem to take a lot longer. I was in parking garages, try to scramble around with like, you know, an hour limit or whatever. But this time I'm actually just walking and I'm taking public transportation, and it's much easier to walk around the city actually. So I can see a lot more. I think before I found that place, but then I was trying to find a parking garage. It took me 40 minutes to find the parking garage, you know, because it's like, it's hard. Driving cars, it's, I haven't driven a car, and I mean I drive them all the time, but I haven't owned a car in about 20 years. So occasionally I'll rent them. But anyways, I'm gonna keep walking. So we're getting kind of close to downtown, so I'm gonna flip around the camera. Let's see what we can see there, and then I'm gonna hop on a ferry and go somewhere else. So that's gonna be my plan for today. $25 can restore sight. Fred Hallow's Foundation. So I don't know anything about it, but 1-800 number is from the US, but they have an Australian. But you know, Australians travel quite a bit, so this is calling for money. There's another one over on this side too. Save life now with just one text. UNICEF, Australia. So, okay. Let's see, I'm at Hyde Park right now. I'm gonna keep walking. I'm gonna stop the video and I'll share what I was thinking about. There's a Marriott. So people go up there. You can see the city. I'm not gonna go up there though. But there's a public toilet. Kind of reminds me of San Francisco. It's where the junkies would go in the United States. And for our king and country. Okay, I've been in this park before too. So yeah, again, I rented that car, and this is like stressful trying to find a car all the time. But yeah, today I'm just completely free. I can just walk everywhere. I'm filming this because I saw at another place that said Bill Posters is innocent, something like that. It was like in graffiti written right next to it, so it's kind of funny, kind of good Australian humor. You can relate to that. It sounds like something they'd say in Michigan as well. Bill Posters is innocent. Bill Posters will be prosecuted. So this area right here, it's a big place, so it looks like people are having lunch now. So it kind of reminds me of the way the cities work. It's kind of reflecting that. I'm living in Macau, which is not, but in the past I lived in New York City, San Francisco, Portland, Minneapolis, and they all kind of have these kind of food courts where often people come down, and so basically going to reflect on that for a second. I might just find a place to sit. Yeah, I just kind of want to reflect on some of my thoughts right now. So yeah, I'm in a city right now. So Sydney, and I love cities. I've lived in cities for the last 25 years. Seoul, Osaka, right next to Hong Kong now, New York. But actually Macau is pretty laid back. So one of the things I keep thinking about is how cosmopolitan and cool Sydney is. But then also this culture too, you know, everybody's working all day, so it's hard. You know, you have to work a lot, and everybody's all suited up, they look great, dress well, all their money goes to this. And as I'm walking down in the city, you know, I can see like bike carriers and things like that. And so there's a lot of that when I lived in New York too. And you know, it's kind of interesting because, I don't know, you can see, you know, a lot of people might come to a city and then you slowly become part of the city, and then you become part of the culture. So yeah, I really love cities, and it's kind of making me reflect on, you know, how much. The other thing I was thinking of too is how, you know, certain places are cheaper than others. So in your cities, you have to pay a lot of money to live in them, so you can't really just do whatever you want to do. But you kind of can when you live in, you know, Bangkok or different cities, you know, especially Southeast Asia, filled with them, or you know, Latin America. So you can, you know, afford a certain quality of life. You can't find jobs, but you can get dependent on different kinds of income. So hopefully with a YouTube channel, you know, maybe I can actually get into something like that. We'll see. I'm working, of course, like everybody else. Probably will continue to do so. But it's kind of interesting, you know, when you travel around, you can see different things that you like and what you don't like. There's some corporate workers right there. So yeah, that's kind of typical actually as well. All the office attire kind of reminds me a lot of when I used to have to work in places like that. It's kind of cool though, I liked it. But I'm also glad to have a little bit of freedom and, you know, be able to be exactly who you are instead. People going to work. So yeah, the office day. Monday morning for all these people. So it's maybe 10:30. So anybody that's out here must have a job where they can get a little breaks. Maybe it's a break time. Could be anything right now. that in a while. I see a lot in Czech Republic, big and like that. So I'll walk by there in a second. Yeah, that's why I'm gonna keep walking. Okay, so we're still in Sydney, walking around. Just gonna kind of talk through some things. So it's kind of a mall area. So yeah, so actually this is my second time in Sydney. So a lot of Australians, they seem to love Melbourne, but I don't really hear a lot of love of Sydney, but I've really loved it. I think the things I love most about it is the beaches. So you have beaches, you have ocean. Let's see what this is. They're waiting in line for something. Gucci. Yeah, I guess the downtown of Melbourne has a lot of art stuff, so it's kind of cool, more like Portland. And yeah, Sydney is definitely the big city one, so I guess you see more of the corporate culture, corporate attire, corporate mindset. So I guess I can see where people love Melbourne. One thing I really like though about this part of Australia though is the coastline. It's like unbelievable. You know, there's lots of kind of mountains and like kind of edges of cliffs, things like that. Kind of reminds me of Hawaii, or where when I was in Melbourne it was really flat. But the downtown was amazing down there. You can see all the culture and the art, and so I can definitely see why people like it. Anyways. But yeah, this is kind of very corporate, New York kind of feel. But it is a big city of Australia, and a pretty cool city. So, and actually the other time I was here, I was parking a car, so if I'm gonna walk anywhere, it's just amazing. I don't have to think about where the car is. Just wander to whenever I want, and just jump on a bus whenever I want. So, okay. I want to see that one thing that was this really cool building right there. It's a really cool building. Kind of has one of the things I remember last time is I went to all these different neighborhoods in Sydney. I can't remember the names of them right now, but they have these row homes and things like that, and they're really cool. So I think that would probably be the most similarity to Melbourne. Melbourne is kind of the Portland, Oregon. It's like all the independent music down there. Like the radio stations were great, especially anybody that likes kind of music that they play in Portland or Seattle and places like that. So Melbourne is a pretty strong indie scene and kind of a collegiate alternative kind of stuff. Okay, this is one that I remember before. So I'm just gonna walk down this a little bit. So okay, I do like this kind of stuff. So actually there's quite a bit of it here. These little walkways. Let's see, this is this one. My name is Melissa. Okay. I don't know where she is. I don't know where Melissa is. Anyways. Yeah, I quite like Sydney though. Sydney is a pretty beautiful place. But the beaches is what I really like, is that beautiful coastline. I'm gonna go back. Trying to go all the way down to the ferry, and I'm going to go down to Rocks Point, walk around. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of a cool spot though. That's one thing I like about cities though, is all kinds of kind of interesting stuff that you can come across. So, okay. So I just turned off the camera, but now I can just see this bridge down here. So that bridge is, you can walk that bridge to the other side. And that's basically where I'm going to be going anyway, is that direction. So yeah, when you're on your feet walking around, the city's pretty manageable. This guy's a window washer, so I don't know. Okay, there's a ladder right there, so the traffic, so it's not that high, but I'm doing it for Christmas. Looks like there's a train line, but this train line right here is stopped right there. That's where you're walking that way. Anyway, it's not another construction, but it looks like they're building something. Mailbox, post office, Australian Mail, Australian Post. Beautiful building. Post offices of course have beautiful buildings. Cool building. Another kind of pedestrian walkway right here. And a flower shop right there. A little closer, reminds me of New York and Europe as well. It's a really beautiful flower shop. Another pedestrian walkway, a big Christmas tree. Okay, I think I've been here before. Last time I was here was around Christmas too. So I'm going to try to get into the shade a little bit. The building's beautiful. Clock tower. We don't really have that many of those these days. Australian flag up on top. Okay, so we're going to walk around this area a little bit. Kind of zigzagging, see if I can find. I'm going to pull out a map in a minute and see if there's some place I should be going to. Christmas in the city. November 24. Okay, it's almost Christmas time again, so lest we forget. Okay, I'm going to pull out a map and see if there's anything I need to do before I hit the ferries. Still 30-minute walk from that though. There's the Inga right here, Christmas tree, so this is here before too, so it's a pretty popular place for people to take pictures. See those people taking pictures of the tree from over there. So here the Christmas tree is, and you got the map, so I just want to show you. So this is basically, this is where the harbor's at, and this is where the rocks is at, so I'm going to be going there later. I'm kind of walking right up this street right here. This is kind of where I'm at, somewhere in this area, so I walked across that park, and I started over here in King's Cross. So basically King's Cross, over there and over there. So if I expand this a little bit, you can kind of see this is where the Central is at. So the airport trains come into here, and then you're basically in the city, and you can actually walk everywhere. I mean, it might take you 45 minutes or so, but anyways, this is kind of Sydney. And this area, I kind of want to go to it again, but Glebe was pretty cool. That's kind of like that Melbourne kind of feel, just like a really cool, walkable neighborhood with all kinds of urban kind of stuff. Lots of Victorian houses, really cool place. I'll try to put up some more stuff on YouTube with some pictures that I have from before. But today I kind of want to get on the ferry and see some of the beaches. So okay, so basically this is Sydney right there. So yeah, basically I started there. Here, Central Station is here. I'm going to walk straight up that way. And then this is where I'm going to go up to the rocks right there, and this is where all the ferries go. Ferries go to Manly, to Watson Bay. I'm going to go take one of those too. This is also a nice area too, pretty cool spot. Darling Harbor. So I did go there. I think I have some pictures, so maybe I might try to post that later. But anyways, today's walk is King's Cross to the rocks, more or less. I'm sure there's some cool stuff that I might see on the way. Anyway, okay, I just flipped this over, but yeah, this is the rocks, so I'm gonna go there. That's a pretty popular tourist area anyways. But I think Paddington and Glebe were the two that I went to before that I really liked. And I think Newtown, I think was another one that was kind of similar. But those kind of have all the cool, kind of more alternative Melbourne kind of art and stuff. Here's a larger city right there. Player Metro. So okay. Yeah, this is the downtown. So okay. So yeah, we're basically just in this green area. Well, King Cross is over here. Then Bondi Beach is over here. So I started over in this area, and then somewhere maybe over here. See walking like that. Okay. Bar and all those kegs right there. Royal Lounge, I guess. Okay. Maybe downtown bar. Rugby, probably. Watch a lot of rugby. In Macau, there's some Aussies and some rugby that's on some of the TV too. Some of the bars, OTT in particular. So, okay. Over here, there's another travel thing. Travel house. Okay, so we're gonna keep walking. Just kind of wanted to mention there's how many people are on their phone. So this guy's on his phone, this guy's on his phone. So definitely it's kind of the same in many places, but okay, let's keep going. What I wanted to show right here, this is parking. So it's so 3 hours is $83. $24 for the night. $24 for the weekend. Okay, so just three hours. So that's why last time I was in Sydney, you know, you park for a little bit and like look at that, two hours, and suddenly it's $75. 1 hour is $28. So it's pretty crazy. So yeah, you definitely don't want to be driving a car and parking in Sydney. So these prices are unbelievable. Anyways, that's pretty typical. Okay, so there's a homeless guy right there. The reason I'm zooming in on that guy is kind of interesting. So there's another guy that was just talking to him a little bit, and then he's gonna walk and talk. I don't want to. There's another guy that was talking to him, so kind of a cool, really cool looking guy, big long red beard. But anyways, he was both look like they're homeless, but they're kind of helping each other out. There's a parking garage, just that. So we're just gonna keep walking, but they were kind of helping each other out. So I kind of like how kind of genuine people are, the homeless, you know, and like people that are kind of down on their luck. So they basically have a traveler spirit, which I definitely like. Travelers kind of have to adapt to a lot of stuff.
Oh wow! Yeah, okay.
But I just kind of like the way that I kind of wish I could have filmed this too. So, okay, that building looks really cool right there. The other guy right there. Gonna run across here. That building looks really cool right there. I'm gonna try to walk across it. I'll do my story in a minute. This is where I was at just now. Bentley Bar. Let me see if I can zoom in on that guy. So this is the other guy, the other homeless guy. So he was kind of helping out the other one. It looks like he's talking to somebody else over there too. Maybe another homeless guy. Can't quite seem to zoom in on them. There we go. But they're just hanging out and talking. So I don't know. Kind of cool. Definitely looks homeless, but yeah, he's kind of helping out the other guy talking. The other guy's kind of cool looking guy too. And there he's off again. This is interesting. So that 2 hours is $75, I think, something like that, or 3 hours. Or you can also fly to Brisbane for $73, or we did close to 63, Melbourne for 84. So you could actually fly to Melbourne for about the same price that you could park your car in that parking garage. Auckland's $292. Good places. Bali, Fiji, Honolulu. Oh, it's not bad. Anyways, Thailand right there, 422. Around the world. Around the world, that basically means that you can stop 5 places. You have to go in one direction. So it's actually not bad, because if you're in Paris, it's $11.93. You know, you could you know, stop at, you know, Paris, New York, Los Angeles, Fiji, you know, kind of something like that. So, all right. Spring Street. Another cool building right there. Walk along this building. It's shady, shade, so I can get better pictures for one. So I love these gates. These gates are kind of everywhere too. Those are kind of I think it's the same style. I see them in the second floor of some of the Victorian style housing around. It's one thing, when I had a car I could actually see a lot more of the city in a more overall perspective, but then I don't really see it as well on a micro level like I'm able to see it now. Okay, so right here, I think we're kind of near the quays. Custom House Circular. Okay, so we're gonna walk down that way. So there's the clock tower. So it's a pretty beautiful building. Let's see, Department of Lands it's called. On this side too. So this side is another. Yeah, it's cool. So between the two of those, it looks so. And so that's kind of one of those bridges. And this is where we kind of met at that place right there. Okay, we're just gonna walk and see what this is. There's kind of open space up here, and then I'll walk down towards the rocks and all that stuff. Pretty cool artwork. I love artwork of cities. Okay, here's that railing. So it's kind of cool. They have a lot of that on the second stories of a lot of places, especially when you get to those places like Glebe and I think there's Paddington and Newton as well. And actually, the last time I was here, I stayed on the other side of this. I stayed in a little pretty cool neighborhood because kind of underneath that. I'd love to get to that too. If I had more time, I'd get to all that stuff that I've already been to it though. So I wouldn't mind getting into it to show the camera, and also just because I like to see that stuff. So here's the museum, and I want to catch this. It says street photography exhibition, December 8th. Which would actually be pretty cool to see that. Kind of love street photography actually. So okay, anyways, we're gonna keep walking. This is something very Bondi Beach about that. Street right here. The wind kind of comes right up off the water, so it's like this really amazing breeze right here. So it kind of whips through this little, whatever this is. These Australians have these cool shoes, so I'm gonna see if I can. If you saw those shoes or not, but they're kind of typical of Australians. They wear, yeah, those big shoes like that. Let me see if I can zoom in on those. Kind of typical Australian attire right there. Shorts up to the knees, big shoes like that. Kind of funny. Anyways, I saw that with all the workers here, so working class. But I like it. It's kind of interesting. Actually, when I was young, I used to wear shoes like that as well in Michigan. I don't know why. And there's our train right there. Seen this in a long time, but this is kind of that wind tunnel effect, so things kind of swirl around, and then I used to see a lot of these in the United States. The wind kind of gets caught up like that, so anyways, it kind of floats around and it goes in a circle. Actually, I might get caught right up in the wind and just go right up the street. Oh no, see, now they're getting caught and they're coming back, so you can see this piece right there, kind of floating around. Like the brown paper bags and keep going. And the white one's going to come back this way, so it's kind of caught in it. That breeze. It's caught as well. They're not really going up the street as much as they just keep coming back. Okay, so I'm going to conclude this video here. This is the end of the downtown. And from this area, I start walking up and down the Opera House and over to the rocks and the quays. So those are going to be 3 separate videos. I also do take the ferries over to Manly Beach and also over to Watson's Bay. So those are going to be 2 separate other videos. This footage that you're seeing right now is Bondi Beach. So I have maybe 3 or 4 or 5 videos all on Bondi Beach as well. And then later I go up to the Gold Coast and I have some other stuff with other Australia things too that will be coming up in the future. So okay, just if you want to see any of this stuff, just go to #GetSidetrackedAustralia or #GetSidetracked Bondi or #Get Sydney. Any one of those 3, and you'll probably see the links right below. It says right below as well. So okay, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, let me know, comment, get me in the algorithms, like it, say things, share it with some people that you know, things like that. So all right, so okay, hope you enjoyed it. please subscribe to the channel and show some love and some support.
Chiquinha, chiquinha.